Hi, and welcome to the first video in what I hope will be a long series of videos following my progress as I model the USS Enterprise refit from Star Trek The Motion Picture. The reason I've gone for this particular version of the Enterprise is because I've never really been a huge fan of the Enterprise D, and the Enterprise E, as nice as it is just far too huge for a project like this. I've always had a soft spot for the Refit Enterprise ever since coming across a set plan back in the 90s, and I've had a number of failed projects over the past 20 or so years, trying to build it in Minecraft and the Quake engine many years ago. And about a year and a half ago, I discovered SketchUp, and although it's not ideal for a project like this, it's quick, it's easy to use, so that's what I went with. So after making a bit of progress, I had the idea of importing the model into Unreal Engine so that you can explore it in VR. You're looking at the perimeter of the saucer section. I haven't modeled all of it yet. I've just started off with the windows and the shield grid. That's what those grooves are running around the outside. And on the other side of those grooves is the shield generating hardware itself. So if I hop in through this window, we can go and have a look. So this is what's on the other side of those grooves. You've got the hardware which generates the desired shield frequency, and the connectivity for power and data, which goes off to various other different points in the ship. So specifically, the blue cable is the EPS conduit, which takes the power from the EPS grid, which is connected to the intermix core. The yellow cable is for data, which connects back into the main computer core, which is over there in the center of the saucer. It's a long vertical column, which goes pretty much from top to bottom. The grey box is an EPS tap, which takes the electroplasma from the EPS conduit and converts it into usable energy. So right now we're stood on top of the outer hull, and this is the underside of the saucer. This is the ridge which runs around underneath, and these girders here are what make up Deck 7. So if I hop up here, this is Deck 7 itself. Deck 7 is split into two pieces. You've got the main part of Deck 7, which is in the center of the saucer, and then this odd little bit that runs around the outside. All the plans I've seen have crew quarters around here, but to be honest, when you're standing here in person, there's not a lot of room. There'd be a corridor of some description here, and I suppose you could squeeze in some really small quarters here, but I'll see. I'll play around with it and see what I end up putting there. And then on the non-full height part here, I'm probably going to have some form of Jeffrey's tube running around the whole perimeter back to the engineering section, where we'll have the main power cables running through. I want to make it so everything can be accessed and maintained by the crew, so it all makes sense when you're exploring the ship. If we hop up to Deck 6, you might be wondering why I've put a table and chairs here. Well, one of the problems I'm having is matching up the decks on the inside to the external features of the ship. And as you can see, the windows on the outside aren't really in a suitable place for the actual deck itself. And as this is the outer hull right here, there's not a lot of other places we can put the deck, so this kind of has to be where it is. But I've noticed that if you were sat at a table and chairs, in actual fact, those windows aren't too bad. They're kind of a seating height, so I think I can get away with it. And all the deck plans I've seen have these windowed sections as seating areas anyway, so it makes perfect sense. Deck 6 is the biggest deck in the saucer. It goes across the entire width of the disk. So all of this, all the way across, is going to be crew quarters. So if we hop up again onto the outer hull, and then go all the way up here, sadly there are no surface details on the top of the saucer, so you can't actually see the slope, but it is there. It may not look it on the video, but in VR this is actually bloody scary. That's a long way down. What I'm going to do at the top here, and you can see that the girders are a bit thicker here as well. I'm going to make this a much stronger area for attaching the bridge module. I've noticed in a few books and things that the bridge module should be modular, as the name would suggest, so you can take it off and swap it with a different one. And indeed, in the different films, you see different bridges. So I'm going to make the whole thing able to be removed. So you'll see mounting points around the outside here, and the whole thing will just clunk onto the top. And then you have the VIP lounge, which actually matches the slope of the saucer as it goes down, so that will sit on top as well. So that is about it so far, and I will just scoot around the inside of the saucer. Where's the light going to? There we go. Just to look at some of the niceness that Unreal Engine offers. Even though there's no baked lighting, it still looks pretty good. Well, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment below, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Cheers! Oh. Whee. Come back. Let's see if I can catch it. Oh. Where'd it go? Oh no. There's no way I'm seeing that again. Come back.